at this. It's been his man and forgot, right?
Afikomen. I'm standing in the ganze Masse.
Avrumi. Because of him. Avrumi debut.
Yeah,
How many people did you pay? Is this like a Dirshu job?
Debut. I have to say Shechianu. Okay.
1 second.
When is das besser?
Half.
Where is the other half?
What is with you? No,
How are you feeling?
Fingers are flying.
I just don't want to be on the camera, but I want to sit next to Reb Avrum.
How about it?
Whoa, look at this.
Shimmy's here.
Whoa.
Look what you bring up.
You think they all came to watch either for you to be amazing or
or for him to be amazing.
or to be really amazing?
What's the or?
This is how you do
Look, why
80
does everybody
stuff?
come in?
got
No,
me,
Because they want to hear him. He's got something to say.
Your wife knows how to get onto Zoom?
So somebody else.
Oh, Jonathan.
All right. We're ready. We're
Coming to block themselves, please. Okay.
Let's let me make an introduction. We have a very special sponsor this week.
Oh.
For he's not here. He went to pick up his boys who just landed after 50-hour flight. David Aber. So he's sponsoring tonight for a yard site for his father, Reb Shneir Zalman, Reb Meir, Aaron Meir. Those who remember when he used to come here, he was always sitting and learning, right?
Everything about
Gemara, sitting and learning. Sponsoring Tzeh Ulmad. I want to thank Reb Avrum Friedberg for stepping up. He wanted to really show what does Tzeh Ulmad mean, what does chassidic mean, and what's insight's really about. He says he's going to really dissect it. So Reb Avrum, shkoyach for offering your knowledge and sharing it with everybody. Please, everybody, go easy on him, at least in the first 10 minutes. Go ahead.
Amen. L'chaim.
You too.
So, tak de Leilu Nishmais, Shnu
Zalman,
Ben?
Reb Aaron Meir.
Ben Reb Avrum. Okay. Also, I aitu mit Shnu Zalman. So, we're going to say our words in Shnu Zalman also in the middle, okay?
Liadi.
Okay. Thank you very much. In another few nights, Simir Hashem, we are going to sit at the Heilige Seder, Be'ezras Hashem Yisborach, with our families. Leilis Kaddish Chag. So, we're going to speak a little bit about what is mean Yetzias Mitzrayim, what is the highlight of the night of Pesach. First of all, the Medrash says that the Odom Arishon told his children, Cain and Hevel, on the day of Pesach, Asidim b'nei Yisrael Otzes, the Kodesh Baruch Hu is going to take out the Eden from Mitzrayim, and they're going to bring a korban. So instructing them to bring a korban Pesach. And that was stuck the Mivchoris Tzoino Mechaveyem that Hevel brought, and a Kodesh Baruch Hu taki v'aish Hashem el Hevel v'minchosoi, says the Medrash, that was his korban Pesach. Pesach is also the day that HaKadosh Baruch Hu had kodesh given a bris ben abisorim with Avrom Avinu, and he told them, "Lezaracho nosati so'oretz hazois." That happened on Pesach. Pesach is the day that Avrom Avinu was goiver on the Arbo Melochim. Vayechalek aleim lailo. Rashi brings that he was Pesach. The other half of the night is the Chatzois, that the Eden went out of Mitzrayim. We also know that the Besuras Leidas Yitzchok, when the Malachim came, was on Pesach. It says in the Pasuk, Ugois Matzois, because it was on Pesach. So the Besuras Leidas Yitzchok is in Pesach, and actually he was born a year later on Pesach Taki. The Malachim went on to Sdoim to be Matzil Loit. Again, it says in the Pasuk there that he made matzahs for them. We learned that he was in Pesach. The Gemara, it's a Medrash, it says that...
It was a year later?
No, the same day, the same day.
It
was still Pesach, same day.
Yo. They went directly.
I know, but he was, okay.
And the Pasuk says that the Melech says, Motzosi David Avdi. Chazal ask, where is this Motzosi? Where did I find David? And Chazal, the Medrash says, in Sdoim. I found them in Sdoim. The meaning is that Leidas Mashiach, David that came from Rus, from Moav, who was the son of Lot, that Tzeh was in Pesach, so it means that Bekoyach, in potential, the latest Mashiach was already in Pesach, in Sdoim. We see also, Pesach we know is the day that Yitzchok gave the broches Mitar Hashemayim u'Mishmane Oretz to Yaakov Avinu. The broches were given on Pesach. Sancheriv came with 185,000 soldiers on Eretz Yisrael. They were killed when? One night, Leil Shimurim. It was on Pesach when the Malach struck the Machne of Sancheriv and killed 185,000 soldiers of him. Daniel Ish Chamudois was Nitzon Miguva Aroyos, again on Pesach. And finally we know the Mapolas Homon, the day that the Misht of Esther was on Pesach. It was actually the second night, but it was on Pesach.
Right.
Yes.
Coming up.
And we know from Sforim HaKadosh that every time in the Megillah where it says Melech and Esther, it means really HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Achashverosh is Melech She'achris V'reish Sheloi, means HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and Esther is Knesset Yisrael. That is the day that the Melech asks Knesset Yisrael, Ma Sheilosech U'ma Bakoshosech. That is in Pesach. And Kamuvon, Makas Bechoiros, Geulas Mitzrayim, and finally Nisan Asidim Leigol. This is all what Pesach is, this is all what Leil Shimurim is. The minhag is in Roiv Tfusos Yisrael that the man of the house wears a kittel on the by the Seder. Yeah, we all know the Kinderlach kim naim fin Shil and fragen right away the star. And the Tate kim time fin Shil tit tzachun the Wasserkittel. What is the Wasserkittel? What is the kittel? Why the kittel? So I saw the Sforim HaKadoshim say that is the big day Lovan that the Kohen Gadol achas bashon goes lifnai belifnim. We have to know that we sit at the Seder from Pesach and we are in a dargen, a bechine, each and every one of us, as a Kohen Gadol which goes in lifnai belifnim. Just like the Kohen Gadol was mevakish all of al bnei beisoy, like we said, the kana ben shoyel, is we can ask on Pesach, on the night of Pesach, nafshi b'sheilosi, ve'ami b'vakoshosi. We can be zoiche to all the broches, all those ashpoes and yeshuas that I mentioned until now, the gashmis uberuchnis, we can be zoiche in the night of Pesach. Of course, we have to know how to ask and what to ask for. We have to ask for Rachamim, Rabbim, Achenu b'nei Yisrael, especially in Yisrael. You have to ask for the Geula Amitis Vashleimo, and Be'ikar for Tzar, Golus HaShechina. So this is all what the Akdome, what Leil Shimurim is, what the Seder is all about. Now we know the Chai Vodon Diros Esatzme Ki'ilu Yotze Mitzrayim. We have to go out of Mitzrayim, we have to be in Chayrus. What is the meaning of that? So let's try to speak a little bit about what Chayrus means, what Yetzias Mitzrayim today means. I know that for many of you, some of you may be here even, Yetzias Mitzrayim this year meant kipshut, going to Al Sharm El Sheikh, taking a flight to Cairo, and so forth, right? But those of us that weren't zoiche to that. So what is Yetzias Mitzrayim? What is the Yesod of Yetzias Mitzrayim? Avoida Gdoilo Azois. What's the meaning of all of this? The first thing is there is a more in Naim, Rav Nachum Chernobyl in Pashas Miketz. He writes, these are the words: Shelu lechag matzois b'chol shono v'shono lo hoyo be'efshori le'odom lischazek be'HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If it wasn't because of Pesach of Chag HaMatzos, it wouldn't be possible for us to be mischazek be'HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Meaning we need Pesach to go on for the rest of the year. We get chizuk in our avodas Hashem. Hu alaylo azel Hashem shimurim lechol bnei Yisrael ledoidoi som kloimar lechol adoides. It goes on for all the doides. Without Pesach, we can't be nischazek in our avodas Hashem. This is the night that the first thing is chizuk ha'emunah. Pesach in Arab Sforim is called Chag ha'emunah. Matzeh in the Zohar Kodesh is called Meichlo de Mehemnuso, Machel of Emunah. There is a word from the Rebbe Maharash. He was the son of the Tzemach Tzedek, who used to say, when you eat matzeh, you are eating Emunah. Probably means that there are certain spiritual properties to the matzeh, and that what you're eating actually becomes dom v'bosar kipsori. You bring into your psyche, into your body, you bring in Emunah. In the God of the Rishonim, there is a Kolbo, there is a Ritvo, and other Rishonim say that the Agode must be said besimcho ubehoido. Very important that the all Agode is said beloshen like a thanksgiving, like a hoido. If you look, they don't explain, they just say that, but L'choir is a positive word. You see the build of the nusach of the Agode. L'choir, the Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim should have been Pashas Shmois till Beshalach. That is the Sipur of Yetzias Mitzrayim, those Parshas. But the Balagode took 4 psukim in Pashas Kisovoi and Bikurim, and that's the Agode. 4 psukim in Pashas Bikurim with a little bit we touch each pasuk, but basically what we say is the 4 psukim. And the shal is why. And the answer is poshet dechoyre, because it says there, Voniso v'marto, Rashi says, she'enecho kofui toivo. The whole union of this psukim is hoidoin. So if the Balagode chooses to put these 4 psukim as the basis for the Agode, means, learning the Rishonim, that has to be said hoidoin. The ganze union of the Sipur is to give hoidoin. And the Arizal, there is a Seder Arizal from different Mekubolim, Reb Shabs and the Marik, were Talmidim from Baal Shem HaKodesh. They write in before Kiddush, on the Nusach in the God, before Kiddush, it says, She'ein zman simche kol kach kmo beleil Pesach. This is the time of simche, kavyoch lemalo. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is besimche. So there is no other time in the year like the night of Pesach that is so much simche. So Mimele saying the Rishonim, you have to say it with hoidoin, you have to say it with a lot of simche. What is the simche? The simche is the etzem inyan, the niglo melech malch hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu be'atzmoi. That means lo the sort of Lo al the shliach, bichvoido be'atzmoi means, like the Mekubolim and Sifrei Chassidus explained, the very essence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu came down to Mitzrayim. The highest darkness, the very essence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu came down to where? Ervas Haaretz. The lowest, the most debased and morally deprived place on earth. And why? For who? For us. To say, B'ni b'choyde Yisrael. A little bit of his boinus b'shas the Seder, what's going on, that the Kodesh Baruch Hu, b'chvoidu be'atzma, is coming down and looking at us and saying, b'simcha, the greatest simcha in the year, b'ni b'choyde Yisrael, should should be goydem in us a gewaltige simche. I saw in Abu Draham on the Piske Vehisha Omdol Avisenu Velonu, he writes, Kede lehadois as gochosoi be Yisrael, make him loem b'chaldor oivim umatzil oisom miyodom. This is more dike werte. Again, Kede lehadois as gochosoi be Yisrael, in order for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to show Ashgoche on the Eden, what does he do? Make him loem b'chaldor, in every generation he sends oivim, Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, every generation, others. Umatzil oisem yodam, and he shows gewaltige mofsim and nisim. He shows the chavivus. He shows Avni b'choyri Yisrael. So, in other words, what is the teichem ha'inyan of Golus Mitzrayim? When you look b'chitzonis, and the Havdil Agoy is a lot of times you don't see a difference. B'chitzonis, the Novi says, Ach, Esov leYaakov. Yaakov and Esau were brothers. They didn't look so different. B'shas Geulas Mitzrayim, the Eden were in Memte Sharetumo. They didn't have any merits. The Malochim Mekatrigim said, Alalu Oivdei v'Alalu Ovdei. And yet HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes down b'chvoidu be'atzmoi to Ervas Haaretz, to Eden that are in Memte Sharetumo, and he says in his Megale Atzm, Megale means that it shows the Pnimius, Mitzad the Pnimius is Chobrichu and Yisrael Chadu. Mitzad the Pnimius, we are one with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that is a gewaltige Zach what happened in the night of Pesach. He is Boicher in Am Yisrael, and he says, Ohafti Eschem Omar Hashem. And that is the Za'ako Pnimis that we have to hear, B'shas the Seder. When we say with Oidom, with Simcha, what we are saying is, we are reflecting exactly this point. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu looks at us and he says, you are my only child, B'ni B'choid Yisrael, Rachlifo Be'um HaCheres, I can't. And what comes out from this word of the Abu Draham is, that the Hoidoe begins at Avodim Mo'inu. The Shibud, the Etzem Shibud is Be'etzem Hoidoe, because it's only through the Shibud that he can show the Ashgoche on the Eden. It's a time to try to forget about personal challenges and everything that everyone goes through during the year. It's a time to just focus on the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'chavoid be'atzmoi looks at you. You are now a Kohen Gadol, b'fnai u'b'fnim, achatz bashono, and even more than that, you are b'ni b'choyr Yisrael. And that is, the Agode, the Sipur, is our way of singing to Hashem, praising and thanking. And Advorim Mo'elen is Konim and Asim B'chol Shon V'Shono Ir V'Ir Mishpocha Mishpocha. This is what plays every year, that without looking at the matzoh, at the situation ruchni that we are. Remember that even in Mitzrayim we were Shaku and Mente Sharetumo and Ovda V'Edizor, and yet HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells you, you are my Kohen Gadol, which is Nimtzo Lifnai B'Lifnim. So far we spoke about Emunah, Simcha and Oidoah. To delve a little bit deeper in the union of what Yitzias Mitzrayim means in Avoide, in our service, what we have to do. It's Mefursam, the word from the Balatanya. He brings it a few times in Sefer of the Parshas in Sefer Bereshis, in Shmois, in Torah. He says that the root of the word Mitzrayim is Meitzarim. Meitzar, like Ben HaMetzorim. Meitzar means limitations, borders, constrictions. It means that you are limited. The Chidush, he says, that exists in Ruchnis also. In Kedusha, there are also limitations. Lemoshel, we all have Avas Hashem. Sure, we all have Iras Hashem. We all have Emunah. We all have Bitochen. We all do Chesed. We all learn. But we all have our limitations in this inyan. How much do we really trust in Hashem until we are really tested? How much do we really love Hashem? How much Yiras Shamayim do we have? So we are limited in everything in our Avodas Hashem. We have limitations, we have shortcomings. Yetzias Mitzrayim means to break through those limitations, those barriers, to go out of your agbolas, to go out of your own meitzorim. In other words, a person is to try to have more Ahavas Hashem, more emunah, more bitochon, more chesed, more toide, more everything. There's a posuk in Malachi. It's one of the Haftoides, I don't remember which parsha, Perek Gimel. It says, the Novi says there, is empowering the Eden to the tshuva, and it says, Ushaftim ureisem ben tzadik l'rosha, ben oived alekim la'asher lo avodai. And the question is, a tzadik and a rosha, we more or less know what it means. What's a oived alekim? What's the posuk mean? Oived alekim is he a tzadik? If he is a tzadik, so then he's redundant. So the posuk said it already. The Kashe fragt the Gemara in Chagige, Daf Tes Amud Beis. And the Gemara is trying to understand who the Oived Elokim is, brings a famous Mame Chazal. The Eino Doime Mishishoyne Pirko Meo Peomim, Le Mishishoyne Pirko Meo Peomim De Achas. And the Gemara brings a moshel. There was once in the cities where the people live in those times, if you needed to take a peklach from one village to another, you went to the marketplace and someone had a business, he rented chamorim, donkeys.
It was an Uber.
Yeah. So the price for the donkey, says the Gemara, was in 10 parsoes, like 10 miles, azuz. 11 was 2 azuz. Okay, so now every Haim Shahid can protest. Well, what's going on here? 10 for 1, so 11 is 10% more. Why are you charging me double? So the Balatani explains in Tanya Perek Tizvov, it's an old Perek dedicated to this concept of what is a oived. And he explains that the Gemara is trying to tell you that in those days, in the times of the Tanom Damorim, they used to learn every Perek, every daf, 100 times. That was a regilus. There were more shakdonim, masmidim, 18 hours a day or more, 100 times every Gemara, every daf, every perek. But after a while, that's not a kunt. That is second nature. That is what you do. Every child, every bocher, that's what they did then. So that's a tzaddik. That's not a oived elikim. Because that became your nature. A oived is somebody that works on himself to break those barriers, to break those limitations, to break the regilus. You go out, you have to dig in very, very deep to try to get koiches from deep within in order to break your regilus, to break your teva. That is Yetzias Mitzrayim. It's the same thing with the donkeys. That was the moshel, that the donkeys were used to go only 10 parsoes. More than that, they couldn't schlep so much. You wanted to go an extra mile, you have to pay double. So the Balatani explains that he brings the logic, k'dei leshanus teva haregilus beyeser se'ez, beyeser ois, in order to change your teva so much more, is tzorich le'oyer esahavas Hashem. You have to be me'oyer something in you in order to break and those barriers, those limitations, and to go out of what you are used to it. And that is what going out of Mitzrayim means. When we sit at the Seder and we go through the Agoda and we eat matzoh and we are bnei choirim with the seva and we do all the mitzvahs salayla with the koisos and all the minogim and all the mesoida that we have. All that is giving us koiches that we should, for the rest of the year, be able to work on ourselves and get out of our regilus. And if we learn an hour a night, we should be able to go home and learn another 10 minutes. The push that you serve the extra mile, that is going out of Mitzrayim. And the koyach for that is Like the Chernobyl said, "Shalul echag hamatzos b'chol shana v'shana lo hoyo b'efshori le'odom lischazek v'HaKadosh Baruch Hu." You take the koyach for this, the night of Pesach. Derech Hagav, in brackets, there is a word from the Baal Shem Tov on this Chazal. En odoimim sheshoyne pirko meo peomim, lemisheshoyne pirko meo peomim ve'achas. It says that a person can learn 100 times, but for him is intellectual stimulation. Doesn't mean that he remembers that the Torah is Torah HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He can learn it like he's shoyne. Instead of learning philosophy and sciences, he learns Talmud. He says, Pirko meo peomim ve'achas. He remembers about the one and only. He remembers about Achadus. This is be'erech what the Bach says in Ilchos Birkas HaTorah, the Rani Nedorim, Af shelo birchu ba'Torah tchilo, forgetting about the Kedushas HaTorah. The Torah is Chachmoso shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Nisan HaTorah, we make a bracha every morning. Okay, I don't know if it was in brackets or it's part of the word, but the Kitzer. I want to, sorry I'm going over, but I want to conclude with a word that I heard last year. I don't know where it's written, but Ingerman told me this word, and it's mamish, it was a game changer. He asked a question. He told me that at the end of Shulchan Aruch, we have the mitzvah Afikomen, right? The chiyuv of eating Afikomen, a kezais matzoh. And the shal is, you ate already moitzi, matzoh, two kezaisim. Kezais motor. A kezais motor and matzoh. 2 cups of wine so far, and a suda. Okay? Karpas, and don't forget the beit that was by now is here. Okay? And now Kim Chazal zogen, ich bete hat nehm another stickel kezais. What is the remes? Who's liegt in them? And then they still tell you, after that, don't eat anything. As if you wanted to eat more, just in case, don't eat anything. That's it. Who's liegt in them? What's the remes? So the word is azoi. You were Taka Kohen Gadol lifnei until now, and it was gefilt a beautiful Seder. You said every Chasam Sofer under the sun, every Maral, every Pachad Yitzchok, every Sefer Machshov, Chassidus, and Muser, right? And Reb Chaim's Tashbisu.
And you're still before Chatzos.
And the Briskerov said, "This is Adin in the matzah, Adin in the morning," and right? And basically, Bisnisale gewon. You're great, but there was something in it for you also, right? You kind of there was a little bit of. You also became a little bit elevated. Kim Chazal at the end in Sugan, and now do me a favor. Take a piece of matzah. This is for the Eibishter. This is for the Eibishter. This is, this is simple and pure. Akizais matzah just for the Eibishter. At that moment is when you go out of Mitzrayim. You left all your self, all your matzorim. You completely threw away yourself and all your barriers. That is Cheirus. You're doing it for the Eibishter. So Chazal tells you, do me a favor, don't tamper with this, and don't corrupt it. Don't eat anything after that. You need this to go on for Kriyas Yamsuf, for Sfiras HaOyme, for Kabbalas HaTorah, and for the Meshech of the year. That's the word of the Afikomen. Perhaps the most important part of the Seder. There's different nuschois. They don't say Chasal Seder Pesach. In the region, Sadiger, Boyan, Chabad, they don't have Chasal Seder Pesach. Maybe because of this reason, Tak. Take the chaydos that you just, the new gain, impression and spiritual freedom that you got, and take it on. Don't end it. Take it with you. So that's the maskone. To remember the Kedushas Hayom, Chizuk HaEmunah, Lehoides mitoich simche, and to be able to shep koiches to go out from our own matzorim, which impede our spiritual growth. In the Irish is often zanacha kosher v'sameach for everyone. V'noichal shom min al zvochem min apsochim shfoy chamos chelagoim. Bevias Mashiach tzidkeinu amen.
Avrum, jetzt war der Wunsch.
Wow.
What?
Jetzt war der Wunsch.
Wow. Yes, for the revolution. Wow, beautiful.
Very nice. Shkoyach, Avrum.
Okay?
So the question is, when do you say this about the Afikomen? Do you say it after benching, just as we're leading up to the Afikomen, or do you want to say it in the beginning of the meal?
What does your Seder look like? No kittel, no chassal.
He's gonna put a kittel after this one.
Yeah, I know.
Say it yachad.
Say it. Yeah.
This is decorations from the sukkah.
You know the first thing I say?
You sure?
They don't say chassal. You don't say chassal in the Pesach?
I'm sorry,
We don't say chassam.
Or it's 11:45. Don't bother me. I'm not going too fast. I'm not going too slow. 11:45. It's now
11:45, what happens?
11:45, we wash. We get to the bracha. Because otherwise you play the wagons going back and forth. Go fast, go slow. It's too fast, too slow.
What is he talking?
No, you
Both here. Thank you.
Very much.
You also not makbid on.
By the way,
I am.
was waiting for this night with Afikomen.
Yeah, I try to get chatzos first night.
Really?
Yeah, I try. You don't try?
I have one
In my
son.
entire life, I've never done it.
Yeah, it makes everybody
nonstop.
crazy. And that's
They
what
do.
I want.
They do the. They do
One son
the.
tries to get
They
me
do
to
the
chatzos.
tonight. They do the
Yeah,
tonight.
yes,
It's like, yeah, we gotta do the tonight. It's like,
also.
otherwise-
I don't.
What's it tonight?
Davnei Nezer is tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what-
They-
The first Afikomen, the first